Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Being with Bella podcast. My name is Isabella, but I also go by Bella, and this is episode 21, I believe, of the podcast, which is kind of crazy. I feel like I say that every time the episode number increases. I'm like, this is kind of crazy. But today I have my roommate Robin here.
Hi, so happy to be here.
I'm so
Finally.
happy. Yeah, I'm so happy to have her here. This has been a long time coming.
Take two.
Yes, this is also take two. Do you want to tell them the story, Robin, of what happened?
So basically, we did film this podcast episode before. We had
Yes.
great ideas flowing, but unfortunately it was deleted. And that is okay, it happens.
It was a very frustrating moment, but we were able to move past it.
Exactly. And we'll get into the perfectionism of that later on.
We will.
But yes, we got it this time.
Yes.
We are improving. The universe wanted us to take it again.
Yes.
And that's what we're doing.
That was the universe throwing a challenge at us, and we chose not to let it stop us.
Exactly.
So here we are. So we wanted to talk a little bit about the beauty of music and how it can really be used as a gateway to the soul. It's almost like its own language of expressing your emotions, which I think is so beautiful because a lot of times, I don't know if you relate to this, Robin, but I feel like a lot of times I'll be feeling or thinking something and I'll listen to a song and I'm like, that explains it perfectly, but I could never have articulated it if I didn't listen to that specific song about it.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's really such a expressive way to get your emotions across and relate to lyrics instead of just words.
Right.
And yeah, I think it can really produce such a variety of feelings inside of you.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think the type of music you listen to is so dependent on your mood.
Right.
I think for me it's very different. You know, in the morning I'm always listening to something upbeat, you know, something to start the day off on a good note.
Yeah.
Love my 2000s rom-com love playlist.
Love.
And yeah, besides that I have songs laced with crack. That is like a core playlist, you know, always adding to that.
Yeah.
And there's just such a variety of genres and artists and all types of songs that come together. And I think creating playlists is just a great way to represent like different eras of your life, you know, in transition periods.
Yeah, I agree. I love like intuitively creating playlists because then it's like it helps me take off some of the pressure of like, oh, all the songs have to like fit the specific like genre or theme, and it's just like, oh no, this is just like what I'm like feeling and experiencing during like this time period in my life, and then like the next playlist will be like different feelings and different types of music. So yeah, it's definitely such like a cool concept. I think it's something you have to like open yourself up to. Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's hard, especially when you're thinking about perfectionism in music and like creating playlists. Like I think that can be really hard, and I think
for sure,
especially during this transition period, it's hard because, well, I created this song or this playlist called "I Feel So Scary Getting Old," inspired by Ribs, by Lorde, of course. But
yeah, I don't know if we mentioned, but we just graduated college, so
we did. It's insane.
Big transition
Actually,
period for us.
Surreal.
Yeah, it really is.
But yeah, it's a playlist I created, and I was being perfectionistic about what should be added to it and like what really fits like that period in between.
Yeah.
But ultimately, so many do. It doesn't need to be just a certain number set or, you know, like the most perfect songs ever, like that are all about just graduation. It can also just be about change.
Right. Yeah. So I think it's cool because you can apply different songs. You can apply the same song in different ways.
Yeah.
Depending on like you can choose what resonates and what doesn't, and you can choose how you want to apply it to like what you're currently experiencing. And I think that's just such a cool thing because it's like you still have control over your like experiences. I don't know. I'm like a very anxious person sometimes, so sometimes I'll try to like predict the future too much, and if I read into songs too much, that I'm like, oh, this like resonates with me. What is this saying about like my future? Like what's gonna like sometimes I read into lyrics too much, so there's definitely like a line.
Yes.
Which is something I've learned. But really just like taking what you feel like resonates with you and letting go what like doesn't and what you don't want to claim. Just like letting yourself feel whatever you're feeling in the moment and like being authentic to like what is necessary or like what is necessary and right for you in that moment is like So important.
Exactly. And I think I remember during the first take you were talking about like how like the older artists, you know, those older songs are so just like representative, and I feel like their lyrics are so they come across like in such a great way.
Right.
I forget which ones you mentioned, but
yeah, I think it was like Selena Gomez is definitely one of them. I'm trying to remember which other ones I mentioned.
Like Heart
now.
Attack.
Demi Lovato, Heart
Demi,
Attack. That's a great one.
Katy Perry.
Katy Perry.
Oh my
Taylor
God.
Swift. Honestly, I resonate.
Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga. Yeah.
Like they're so.
trying to think of
they're
like
so nostalgic, but they're also so timeless. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They just never get old.
Right. Yeah. I was gonna ask, do you think that it's usually like your mood influences which music you listen to, or your music influences your mood, or would you say it goes like both ways?
I definitely feel like it goes both ways, but for the most part, I'd say depending on my mood, I'm listening to a certain genre of music, and also just time of day. I think makes a big difference. At night I love like softer music, or just like very like instrumental. Like I love we both love The Neighborhood. We have to mention it.
Yes, we have to mention them.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
You know what? Should we sing one of their songs?
Yes. Which one should we sing?
Let's sing how about 1, 2, 3.
Maybe I shouldn't try to be perfect.
Yes.
That fits so well with
that
our
is
theme.
that's so on brand for us. Wow.
I'm getting
chills. Pause. Okay. Back to it.
I confess. Oh, you're right. I got the lyrics wrong, guys. Okay.
Switch up.
I confess I'm obsessed with the surface. In the end, last year I fell flat on my face. And then should we do the chorus?
Yeah.
You got me nervous to speak, so I just won't say anything at all. I got an urge to release.
Ooh, okay, riff.
That one's a really. If you haven't listened to "Nervous" by The Neighborhood,
go give it a listen. And speaking of The Neighborhood, we need to listen to the whole discography.
Yes, which is a new word that Robin taught me during our first take.
Yup. Discography. That might be wrong, but we know what it means. Right?
I'm going to use it even if it's not a real word from now on.
It's fitting.
It's just so fitting, yeah.
And we just got to listen to it start to finish. Mm-hmm. No skips.
We've got to do it.
It's very necessary. And
Is there a way, like, on the music streaming platforms to find the whole discography? Is it just like you go to the artist and then it's like literally just everything?
Oh well, it's tricky. I'm a Spotify user.
Yeah.
So I have
do you get the discographies on Spotify?
Yeah, there's a way to just line it up so it's every album after the other.
Yeah.
Not sure about Apple Music, but
wait, I'm gonna check what mine looks like so I can give a tip for Apple Music listeners. So I'm not sure if this shows all of the songs that they've ever recorded, like the entire discography, as Robin was saying, but if you go on Apple Music and just search the artist and go to the top songs and scroll all the way to the bottom, I'm pretty sure like it goes to their very first song. I don't know how many songs they have total. The one that it's showing me is one that they were like featured in, but it's not like they're the artists. Unless they change their band name, who knows?
Yeah.
But that's what it's showing me. I'm showing Robin right now, just since I know you guys can't see anything, but but yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. I don't really know why.
It's a good little tip, though.
But yeah, if you're like really passionate about an artist, go listen to the discography.
Yeah, that's really such a good way to get a clear representation of the band or artist as a whole, you know?
And like what it means for you and like how it helped you
what resonates
life
with you.
And, which is very beautiful. I love The Neighborhood because honestly, there's not a lot of artists where I'm like every single song by them, every single song I've listened to, I actually genuinely enjoy and feel like it resonates. But with The Neighborhood, that's been my experience. Every time I'm introduced to a new song by them,
it ignites so many feelings inside me. Right. Like
it's magical. I don't know
what
it is
so
about
emotional,
them.
Actually.
I don't know what it is about them, but really highly recommend.
Top tier for sure.
Yes. Yes.
Study playlists.
Yeah.
Because yep, I remember that was
Yes,
mentioned
yes.
before.
Yeah.
I introduced Bella to a playlist called Audible Adderall.
Yes, it's
And
available. Oh, sorry, I'm interrupting. Keep talking.
It's just a very upbeat playlist,
Yeah.
and I love it for studying because both of us experience some levels of ADHD, and we need to
just some levels.
In. So, Audible Adderall is a perfect place to start, and it's got lots of saves. Easy to find on Spotify, and it's just really helps keep me on track. I love upbeat, I mean, shout out Drew's Hype Piano. That is a classic playlist, so well crafted. Only not many songs, but it does have.
Is that like our friend Drew, or is that?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It has quite a I think over 100 saves. So.
Oh, wow.
It's gotten around a bit, and
wow.
Just has a lot of really. It has a few songs from Interstellar, and that makes me
I love them. I watched that over winter break for the first time.
Oh my
Highly
god.
recommend that movie.
So good. Literally
it's
my
fascinating.
favorite movie ever.
Yeah, it's a fascinating concept.
Makes me cry every time, of course.
So sentimental.
But yeah, study playlists are so key. I think having a variety. I sometimes love a dark academia vibe, like some just like quiet piano, like instrumental. There's a Bridgerton study playlist that I love as well.
Like with Bridgerton music?
Yeah, so it's kind of pretty popular songs, but like only instrumental, which is kind of nice.
That is
it's
nice
kind of like
for
you recognize
studying.
it, but it's like helps you keep you locked in.
Yeah.
There's also the tactic of listening to the same two songs over and over.
Yes.
My friend from Study Abroad, Adrian, she introduced me to that, and that's also a great way to lock in.
Yeah. It's like a repetitive like pattern then. So it's like you associate the repetition with like, okay, I need to lock in and focus.
Focusing in, yeah, exactly, and maybe switching up for a new subject or something. Yeah. Oh, love music.
I know. It's just
there's to the soul. It
truly is. And there's so many ways you can use it to your advantage, like to enhance your life.
Totally.
It's just we're so lucky to be like I'm so grateful to be living in this time period where we have such easy access.
Yes.
As much as I like complain about technology and like how modernized everything is, I love how easily accessible music is from our devices.
The options are just unlimited.
Yeah.
Like you can find new music all the time, and it's just such an amazing way to evoke so many different feelings.
It really is.
Just cycle through life. It's just crazy.
It's really beautiful.
It really is.
Yeah. As cliche as it is, it's
fitting,
something else.
You know? Yeah, it really is. It's hard to describe.
It's hard to describe unless you've actually experienced it yourself. But here's your invitation to go do that. So.
Yeah, yep. But
so we also wanted to talk a little bit. I know we briefly touched on it earlier, perfectionism and just how it's funny, kind of the correlation, because we also talked about how we both have like at least are somewhere on the spectrum for ADHD.
Yes.
Funny. It's interesting the correlation between like perfectionism and ADHD and being a more anxious person. And I don't know. I love thinking about that stuff. But yes, we want to just briefly touch on perfectionism and like what our experiences have been with it and kind of motivate you guys to free yourself from a little bit of that perfectionism, because it can be very limiting sometimes when we're thinking about just like life choices. And
yeah, totally. I think even just thinking about like podcasts, like
Yeah.
I think it was very intimidating to me to come on here.
Yeah.
I was tempted to just like literally write a script.
Yeah.
And I think after filming the first time, it was hard to be like, oh, like we could just do it again. And I think in my head I was just thinking, oh, what if I don't say the same things? You know, what if I don't hit all the right points and everything? But no one saw that. It's totally fine. We can go off.
No one even knows what we said the first time. Exactly. And that's the cool thing. Yeah, exactly. I think that's so fair, because when I first started, I literally had a script for the entire like 7-minute episode that I made. So it's definitely like intimidating at first.
You've come so far.
Like,
oh,
wow. Thank you. Yeah, it's It honestly, it gets easier the more you just let it flow naturally.
Exactly.
Has been my experience.
And I feel like just thinking of it as a conversation, just like you're on FaceTime with someone,
right,
you know?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't need to be formal.
Right, especially like starting out doing it like with my friends and loved ones, like that's been so great. But we're both like comfortable with each other and just like having a casual combo, and maybe eventually like I'll be able to do this with people I look up to or like professionals, and I don't know.
I think especially for this period, it's so nice that you had so many guests, just friends and people that were so important during this time period, and especially right before this huge transition, literally flying out in 1 hour.
Yeah, she's leaving so soon.
Crazy.
I'm not ready.
Literally unreal. I know it's gonna hit on the plane.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this time is just hard.
It
Change is
is
hard. Growing pains.
Yeah, listen to Growing Pains by Alicia Cara.
Oh my god, I need to give that
That's a good one.
I must. Alicia Cara. Love her.
Yeah, I love her too. She's another throwback artist for sure.
Yes. Yep.
But yeah.
Yeah,
you just made me a little emo there.
No, it's actually like
so sad.
Like we've lived together
for two
whole years.
Yeah.
It's gonna be different.
It's a big change.
It really is.
Yeah. So we are running out of time, but we wanted to finish off our convo with touching on nature and how that is kind of, in an interesting way, interconnected with perfectionism, at least in my eyes, because I see it as the more we connect with nature, the more we realize that we are also mammals technically, and we came from nature. It's very fascinating. It's very fascinating to think about because nature is obviously imperfect, and we don't look at nature and say, "Oh, that flower is not bright enough." We don't say, "Why is the sunset different colors? It should just be one color." Like, we don't look at nature that way, but we look at our lives and ourselves and a lot of different aspects of living that way. And so I just thought it'd be interesting to kind of touch on that and how they can kind of interact or can interconnect with each other a little bit.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think that's a really important connection to make. And I think it's so hard, especially during college when you're so busy all the time, to stay connected with nature and to just like find such beautiful things just in the mundane and just romanticize. It just can be hard when you're busy all the time and you're always running around. I think finding time to really reflect and just kind of reconnect with nature can be so healing.
It is. It's so healing.
I was gonna say, I just think like going home, it's always just so easy for me to be kind of in nature more often and just be outside all the time. You know, it's nice having like a big backyard and chickens. You know, it's it's Western Mass,
that's so fun.
it's there's lots to do in nature. Just going on walks with my dog Ruby, all of that thing, all of that sort of things, and yeah, I think it'll just be a really like a really key way for me to kind of reground myself and just like prepare for the next step.
That'll be so nice. Yeah, that'll be a nice transition. If you're listening right now, take this as a sign to go reconnect with the mundane.
Yes, go out in nature. If it's raining, dance in the rain. If it's snowing, go sledding.
Make a snow angel.
If it's sunny, go bask in the sun. Go swimming. Do some cartwheels, frolic, roll down a hill.
Reconnect with your inner child. Reconnect with the mundane.
Your life is a movie. You are in control.
You are in control. That was so good, Robbie.
I agree.
One last thing I was going to add is the challenge is go find something that is not man-made and spend at least 30 minutes just taking in your surroundings.
Yeah, off the grid.
Yeah. Turn your phone on airplane
Disconnect.
mode.
And reconnect.
Because I think we take that for granted, and it can really just help reset the mind, reset the body, just reground ourselves and make decisions and move forward in a more grounded way. So
and listen to the neighborhood.
Yes,
It hits different.
It's a great touch. Yeah. So
that's
gonna conclude.
Wow.
Unfortunately,
I'll be back.
Yeah, Robin will be back. Unfortunately, we just ran out of time, but definitely will be expecting a part 2 with Robin.
Get excited.
Yes, get excited. You better follow me now.
Comment.
So you can be there for the part 2.
Comment, subscribe, and let me know if you have any suggestions.
Yes, let us know if you have any tips for us. We're always open to feedback.
Yep.
Because we're not perfectionists here. We're always open to adapting and learning and growing. I mean, we are perfectionists, but that's why we have to.
We're working on it. We're working. Yes.
We're perfectionists training to be imperfectionists. Okay.
Exactly. So, Robbie J, over and out. That is
Thanks so much for coming on, Robin.
Of course.
So
I'll be back.
Yes.
You know, this is something that's gonna continue on.
Yeah.
And
it will continue.
We'll continue to reflect.
Yeah.
Aw.
Well, thanks for listening, you guys.
Can't wait to look back on this.
Yes. It'll be so sweet.
Everyone, have an amazing rest of your day.
Yes, have an amazing rest of your day and go romanticize everything.
Love you and good night.
Love you. Mwah. Bye.